Hooray! It's the Animal Crossing Podcast, Episode 3. I'm your host, N64 Josh, with...
N64 Jen.
And today, our focus is going to kind of be on Wild World. This game was... it was probably the first... Like, this is probably the game you may have played, I don't know, maybe more than even New Leaf? Maybe?
Probably.
There's a chance. So we're going to get into it. Before I do, I want to invite you guys to my Discord. So if you're just possibly being introduced to us for the first time, I actually do a number of podcasts, and I have a very active Discord with a lot of great people to play games with, including Animal Crossing. We have people that are playing Pocket Camp, even if that's your thing. You want to find more people to help you do the quarry or whatever. That is a possibility. It's just a really good place for all kinds of games. We do Mario Kart tournaments, Smash Bros tournaments, all kinds of stuff. So n64josh.com/discord if you want to come hang out there. Now, if you are watching this video on YouTube, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it. And with that, we're going to jump into talking about Wild World. So we've actually been racking our brains all week trying to figure out when we first got our the Nintendo DS, the colors of the systems we had. We moved during this time, so it was kind of a big we moved from Washington to California, so it was kind of a big deal. Like it was a really big deal. So let's just kind of talk about it a little bit. We think we got our DSs while we lived in California.
Yep.
We're fairly certain you got the gray one. I got a blue one. We don't really remember. I remember playing the Metroid Prime Hunters, which was like a demo, I think. I remember having a really goofy stylus that went on my thumb so I could play it like a first-person shooter, and I still played it inverted, which was so bizarre and so weird, but that was me back then. So, and I still play inverted, so, forgive me. You can at me, at N64Josh. And so we've been kind of racking our brains. Like, I thought she had a certain colored one. She's like, I don't remember at all. This was my first DS. Why can't I remember better? Long story short, we figured it out. She had a gray. I had a blue. We eventually gave those to our boys, which is kind of a fun little story. It's we'll get a little sidetracked here to start off with. At one point, we gave them to the boys. We upgraded to the DS Lite. We're pretty sure she got a metallic rose or else pink. We don't know. We can't remember which. Mm-hmm. She remembers pink. I remember metallic rose. We're probably never going to know because we didn't really take any photos of that stuff back then. And then I know I had a black one. Well, eventually what we did is we actually took our boys' the original DSs, the gray and the blue, like we're talking the old school one. And we traded them in and got them DS Lites for Christmas. But we told them, I mean, they were little, so it wasn't uncommon for them to
lose them,
to lose their DSs. So we were just actually talking to our son. He's like, we looked everywhere for those things, and we could never find them. So, and I mean, we were having a good time playing a little joke on them. So it worked out. But you love the DS.
I do. It's my favorite.
Yeah. What about the DS was just like, did you love so much?
I loved being able, the handheld and not always having to be on the TV. I liked being able to play it and other people could still play their games or watch TV and I could just get lost in my own little world.
I couldn't count, excuse me, how many nights when we lived in California, you would be on the couch playing Animal Crossing. Mm-hmm. I would be playing Halo or I remember I got the Xbox 360 and began the achievement grind, and playing games like Perfect Dark and things like that. And we were together. We weren't necessarily conversing or whatever, but we were together. And so Wild World, and I play Wild World too. Yeah. I also picked it up. The sad thing is we both fired that up this week. she was able to find her copy. I don't know where mine is. I had an extra copy, and so I started one up on. I charged up a DSi because I love that system. It's probably my favorite in the DS series. I love that system. Just the feel of it and everything. The matte black finish. I do have a Roxy sticker stuck on mine from my daughter that she does not want me to remove for some reason. So I'm not sure how that's going to. Stay tuned for that. If I can actually clean it off or not, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. So she fired up her town. She was able to get back in. I started a brand new one, and I'm still kind of in the beginning phases of like, I just talked to one of the townspeople, and they wanted to know my birthday, so I got that entered in, and now I'm delivering furniture for Nook, right, from Nook's Cranny, which is it's kind of fun going back to the games at the beginning stages because nothing's upgraded.
Right,
you're missing so many things, and so what was it like for you, like getting back, going back to that game
this week?
Yeah.
Oh, it was fun. It was weeds everywhere, so that's kind of crazy. I still have not gotten them all pulled.
Yep.
But it was really fun because first of all, I had because you start off in your house upstairs. You start off in your bedroom and you're in a bed. And then I had placed 3 other beds for the kids. And so they're all in there and, it's just kind of cute. And, but then throughout my town, which at some point, I think it was our boys played it and possibly our older daughter. And so my town is trashed, and this kills me because I always kept a perfect town and I never had stuff laying around outside. My house was always, organized, and I would decorate it with the seasons and whatnot. But oh my gosh, there's stuff everywhere. And so not only is that just kind of a little like, my town, but at the same time, as I'm starting to clean it up, I kind of felt like this weird, like, oh, my little kids that are now like grown. I mean, one of them's freaking like going to move out soon. All these like things and items that they had collected and left laying around. So it was just kind of fun to see that. And then there's like patterns all over my ground that they had drawn at the Able Sisters. And so that was kind of fun too, to see their designs. And it was just a fun little, track down memory lane sort of thing.
No, I love it. You're absolutely right. And that's what I mean. We were drinking coffee this morning, and she's looking for Joan, and I was delivering furniture, and she brought that up, and it's kind of like a little time capsule. Mm-hmm. We fired up YouTube, and we're like, okay, well maybe we can, we just wanted to kind of get a little refresher with that game, right? And so, we were watching different people talk about their towns and things like that, and so it's really cool kind of going back. Like, it's great going back to the GameCube. You guys, if you've been watching on YouTube, we've been putting footage of me basically just picking weeds. That seems like all I'm doing because it's such a mess. But why? Let's go back. Okay. Why was Animal Crossing Wild World such an important title for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, there was the excitement and the hype of just a new Animal Crossing title we were super excited about and willing to buy a new system for. But at that time, when it first came out, like you mentioned, we had just moved away from all of our family and friends in Washington to California. And so as hard as that was, they had the ability on the new DS and Animal Crossing, you could visit each other's towns with your friends. And so one of my closest friends here in Washington, his aunt, like we've talked about before, was able to get the same game and system, and we could play together. So that gave me, and then I named my town Mount Vernon, which was our hometown that we left behind at the time. And so
this was not an easy move.
It was that was my way to escape.
Yeah, we uprooted. I mean,
it was really hard.
Left all of our family. Like we went from having, I have 5 siblings. She has a sister. But
we're all really close, and we all live within like 20 to 30 minutes of each other. And we had the 2 small boys, and I was pregnant with our third, which was a girl, the first girl. And then we moved when I was like 7 months pregnant, and
I don't know what we were
sucked.
thinking. Yeah.
Sucked bad. We didn't know anybody. And so the DS gave us a little feel of like, I don't know, an attachment to home somehow, I guess.
Well, I mean, and you would be, I mean, what was funny is I would fire up the Xbox 360. I would be playing with people on Xbox Live, you know, chatting with my friends, playing, like I said, Perfect Dark, fighting games, whatever, you know, whatever the new game was. And she would be on the phone with my aunt. They would, you know, speakerphone or whatever, just like, hey, I'm going to visit your town. We're going to go fishing together. We're going to collect. And I mean, this was a regular occurrence.
Yeah, probably nightly, like for who knows, hours on end.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the thing with them too is they had left.
That's true. They also had left a little, prior to us, but still she knew the feeling to be away from home and not have a lot of friends to just, you know.
So it's amazing that a game that's like, you know, I mean, it's just a game, but it literally helped you get a taste of, or at least kind of that attachment to home, even though it was all digital, you know, but it was something that you interacted with somebody that you were close with on a regular basis. And I mean, you guys would just literally converse about whatever. Right.
Just while we were playing. I mean, we'd sit down there and fish and talk about who knows what, but it was just the fact that we could like, oh, look what I caught. Oh, that's cute, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we could still just have that conversation. And it was huge.
It's kind of the beauty of that game because like we've talked about, it's a game that you don't have to lean forward to play.
Right.
You don't have to like, I mean, we've probably all been there where you try to have a conversation with somebody that's like really like, you know, just sucked into the game that they're playing and they're like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I know how that is.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've, yes, she definitely knows how that is.
I'm totally kidding.
No, she's not. It's not even, we don't even like, we're not gonna deny it's true. It's true. It's happened.
But with Animal Crossing, you can totally like have conversation still. And like you said, even this morning, I mean, we still enjoy playing it over a cup of coffee. Like that's still just, I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah. That's the nature of it is it's not, you don't have to. And here's this sounds so silly, but I love the fact even on GameCube, you can use one hand to run by holding the left trigger down while you're using the stick. And so like, cause I didn't want to just have to walk everywhere. Oh. Right. So it's like, oh, I can take a drink of coffee. I can be, you know, whatever, checking my phone and still running around.
You have to be careful of flowers.
I know.
Don't run through your flowers.
Don't run through the flowers. Well, nothing's perfect in any of my current towns other than the New Leaf. So it's okay. It's okay. I don't worry about it too much.
All
right. But even that is like, yeah, you can kind of play this game one-handed at certain times, right? If you're trying to catch fish or whatever, you need to have both hands on the wheel. But this game really was it was also a way for you and I to connect too and play, you know, because like I said, it wasn't like every night I was just playing 360 and we were ignoring each other.
No,
there were certain. I mean, I was still putting time into Wild World. I'm really sad I can't find my copy of the game, and there is a chance like before I started collecting, I traded a lot of stuff in, but like one thing we never got rid of was our original Animal Crossing and our town.
See, and that's why I don't think you would have gotten rid of this one either. It's just too
I'm guessing not. And there's a good chance I have a few boxes in my closet that I'm guessing I'm going to move a few things and I'm going to go, oh yeah, there it is. So who knows? I may still try to dig it out one day, but it's like I said, it's fun to go back. And that game, I mean, we were so excited. I mean, like you said, it got us to buy 2 new systems. It was literally a system seller. Like before that, we didn't like.
It still is to this day.
Right? Yeah, for you especially. Like
I'm holding out on my own Switch for one reason.
Yep.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so let's. That's kind of even a little transition point too. Like. There's rumor of the Switch being completely like a handheld version. Is that more the version that you're hoping to get?
That really gets me excited. I love the handheld, and I know you can play Switch handheld, and that's great. I do love that, and that's how I usually do play if I'm going to play. But there's something about, I mean, my DS is my favorite, and so to have another DS-ish.
Okay, let me let you guys know what she got for Christmas this year.
Oh yeah.
a 2DS XL. She has the Animal Crossing
Do.
New Leaf 3DS XL with the white with the print on it.
Nice too.
Yeah.
But have you seen the purple one?
Yeah.
As soon, like, I've always loved purple, and I think I've always wanted a purple system, and they just would always be in pink or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and even when this one came out, I'm like, oh, it's purple, it's pretty. But then I saw one in person. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, which is kind of a fun story too, because what we did is we bought my niece a 2DS XL, and then my sister, her mom, saw the thing and was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Oh, it has Mario Kart." And we're like, "Oh, let's go get another one." Right. So then we went and got, well, then she sees the purple and she's like, "Well, I want a purple one." So I'm like, "Okay, let me make sure I throw that under the tree." And fun fact, she actually got me the Mario Maker 2DS this year.
So we got DSs for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's cute.
We got each other DSs, which is hilarious. But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you've loved just the handheld aspect of gaming. And the thing with Wild World that was so great is because as much fun as it is to do things together in those games, when you have to share, like if you look on our GameCube, if you see in our GameCube town, I paid off my loan first, so there's a gold statue of me, but then there's a silver statue of her, right? Mm-hmm. Because she got second. And it's kind of like, it's kind of nice to know that your town is you're going to be able to experience everything for yourself. Right. And so.
Yeah. And I think especially for a game like this that we both want to play, because if I remember right, I don't even know for sure that did you buy Animal Crossing right away on the DS? I know for sure that your uncle only bought a DS after your aunt had one because he wanted to play, and so, but that's just it, is we could play together and at the same time and not have to share a file, share a town. Or the TV, like, come on, it's my turn, right?
Right, yeah.
Because and then, so that is why I liked mine. Even when it went on to the Wii U? The
Wii.
I played it, and it was Animal Crossing, but I still just like my handheld.
Well, yeah, we ran into that problem of like, it wasn't like, I mean, now we've got TVs in most rooms of the house and, but it's still, then you're still just you're kind of just isolated. Yeah. What was so nice about it, what's so nice about playing Animal Crossing, like, is a lot of times we can do it together and we can still like, how many times do we go out at night and look at the stars and do a fire, and there's Animal Crossing with us just for a while anyway, it's
and all the kids bring theirs. It's like this, like, oh, let's do this, and we all get our systems out and
absolutely. Which I mean, and when we're gonna probably the next episode, we're gonna focus a little more on City Folk. We're gonna try to fire that game up and spend a little bit of time with it, getting into it a little bit more, because I remember very little about. That's the one I played the least. I was so into achievements on Xbox that I stopped to play like Mario Galaxy. That was like, those were the kind of the few games that really caught my attention on the Wii. A little bit of Mario Kart and things like that. And so and that's, I mean, even Mario Kart, that's a game that we've been playing forever, and we've had it on DS, and it's fun, and we enjoyed it, but it's still different than with Animal Crossing, because you're not competing against anything.
Right.
Typically, you're just kind of like there to like, hey, I want to make some money in your town while I'm here, or I'm going to help you clean up, or, hey, what do we got to do to get your town perfect? So let's plant flowers, let's plant trees.
And sometimes it was like, oh, what's in your store today? Because I don't have that and want to get it for my house. Right. And so you'd go and get it that way, or stuff like that. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even just the weather. It's like, oh, it's raining in my town. Is your town sunny? Okay, I'm coming over.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Or the snow. If it's snowing, we did that this Christmas. The girls and I, every day we turn it on and see who had snow or not, and then we'd go to their town.
Yeah, I love it. And it's, I mean, that has really been a thing for, I mean, honestly, talking to our daughter yesterday, we're like, are you going to want to get Animal Crossing on the Switch? She's like, well, I don't want to play on the TV.
I just want my DS.
She goes, like, that's what she said. She goes, I just want my DS. And I'm like, well, there's a good chance, especially if there's an Animal Crossing Switch, that, we'll get one for you just so you can play handheld. She's like, oh, well, in that case, in that case. So it's funny she'll sit and play Sims on the Xbox.
But even
Right.
that, she says, I wish this was on my DS.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it is. Then both girls are fighting over the TV, or not fighting, but, want to take turns. And
Right.
and that's what, so the handheld's the way to go.
It really is.
It really is.
It fits Animal Crossing so very well. So let's transition a little bit out of Wild World.
Okay.
And let's talk about, like, we've kind of gotten back into Pocket Camp a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Pocket Camp is not amazing, right? It is a bite-sized taste of what actual Animal Crossing is, but it does have some charm to it. I found out recently there is maybe I can include a link, but they actually scrapped what they had for this game late in development and then started over and put out what we currently have. Like I think they had spent, I don't know exactly the amount of time, but a fair amount of time, and then scrapped it, started on this one, and then put it out, which, if you remember when the game came out, it was pretty bare bones. There wasn't a whole lot to do, and it was a lot of just doing like these little fetch quests that was like, okay, this is too grindy and just it's not the relaxing Animal Crossing that I'm, like, I want to catch fish, hoping that I'm going to get something that I haven't caught before so I can put it in my museum. Right. And then I want to be able to catch it again and go and sell it and make bells. And that's really
and
not
here
what
there's
you
only
do.
like a few varieties.
Right.
And yeah.
But one of the things that got me back into it a little bit ago was they did this Mario Day. They did a Mario themed fishing tournament, and you caught cheeps and different fish from the Mario series. And I'm such a sucker. I mean, look at you. If you see my hat right now, I've got Mario on it. There's Mario behind us. If you're watching it, like I love Mario. I love Nintendo. I think it's so great. And so, but seriously, anything Mario related in any other game, I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Let's go. Let's check it out. Right. And so, it got us playing again, and they've made so many improvements to that game. And so, like I mentioned early on about the Discord, like there are a handful of people that have jumped back in. And so if you kind of fell off with that game, I would recommend, checking it out. What are you thinking of Pocket Camp right now?
I'm liking it a lot more now. It definitely has its pros and cons. It's fun. It's fun to see the neighbors and characters that you're used to seeing. My frustrations came into where I couldn't complete all of the collections, and that frustrated me because I like to collect and complete my catalog.
Yeah, you are a completionist.
So that's been my biggest, like my hardest thing with Pocket Camp, is that I don't always have the time, like, because they're limited events. They give you, and some of them, some of the ones, if you play, you have a garden, and you have to plant special flowers that you only can get from your neighbors for doing these tasks. And then you have to collect the rare butterfly that these flowers attract. And you have to get enough of these butterflies to get certain items. And even the flowers, after you harvest them, can be traded in for special items. But you only have, sometimes they give you plenty of time, but there's been a few where it's just, man, you've got to play this around the clock. And if I forget, and then all of a sudden I'm like, shoot, like I almost need to set reminders or something.
Right.
And life just happens. And so that's been my only frustration with it, or my main one, I guess. It is at the beginning. Yeah. It just kind of was the same old, but they have added quite a bit in, and it is fun. It's, it is very cute. Like the things that they have given us to collect, there's a lot of very different, like some of the original furniture and stuff, but there's a lot of new stuff that is a lot of fun. But that's just part of what makes me so bummed out, is because, it's so cute and it's new and it's different and I don't have it all.
Right.
So, but yeah, it is. I like it. It's been fun. It's giving me a taste of it because I have a hard time turning on New Leaf, and like I'm just so ready for the next one. So it's fun to at least see the new, and I'm hopeful that maybe the new one on the Switch will have some of this new furniture and stuff that the Pocket Camp has.
Yeah, not only the furniture, but like I love the fact that you can set up a half pipe, and then the animals are out like skateboarding. Yes. Right? Like these are great features that would be great to see integrated into the new game. And I recently, I don't even know if we've talked about it much, and maybe we'll kind of focus on that a little bit on the next episode, but I have a post up on n64josh.com about the top, like the 10 things I want in the next game. And one of the things that I think would be amazing is like, give us that half pipe And then give us a little mini game that's like almost like Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like, maybe you don't control the skateboard going left and right, but based on the different button combinations, you can do some skating moves and get a score and then go back and do it again. And then now you're, you know, it's like, hey, come over and let's skate.
Yeah.
Or come over and let's, you know, play air hockey or pinball and kind of, you know.
I definitely would love to see an arcade sort of thing.
Absolutely.
So much fun.
It would be great. And so
that little mini game too.
Yeah, just more little mini games that like give you more reason to come over versus like, okay, let's try to get your town perfect, or okay, let's pick up your garbage, or you know, okay, we could play hide and seek. And they have little mini games like on the island, you know, the collectathon games and that kind of stuff. But even just like more little things like that, and I don't want to get too far into it because we can really go down a rabbit trail here, and we're getting close to wrapping up. But we'll get into that top 10 list, and even on my YouTube channel, there are some videos that we don't. They're not going to be. They're not on the podcast. We did these a couple months ago. So if you're on N6 or if you're on YouTube.com/N64Josh, you can actually find some more Animal Crossing videos, some more Animal Crossing content that we've done. But we'll be covering more of that and stuff. And so next week we'll talk a little bit about City Folk, because I don't feel like it's a game that has quite the pull that Wild World had or that New Leaf has. But then maybe we'll take a deep dive into some of the top 10 things we want in the Switch title. And so we want to include you guys as well. So if you want to get involved, a few different ways you can. One, you can post in the comment section of this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Two, when this video goes up on the N64Josh subreddit, you can post in the comments there, which is probably going to be where the video and the comment section of Reddit will be the two main places. Once we get on iTunes and everything's working out, like there's going to be regular show notes on n64josh.com. And you guys will be able to comment there as well. And so we want to connect. We want to hear from you guys. Maybe if there's topics you want us to cover, that kind of stuff, questions you have, you know, when we go to do, I would say be on the lookout. Like I said, the best place is probably either the Discord or the subreddit to find out. I'll put out a question for this show, like a little post like, hey, what is your top 10 things you want in Animal Crossing? And then you guys can comment and we'll be able to read and hear from you guys. So with that, is there any places that people could follow you online?
Instagram at N64Gen and Twitter.
At N64Gen. Okay.
Yes.
Guys, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Like I said, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. It's at N64Josh. If you want to stay connected, again, come on over to the Discord. We'd love to have you. It's n64josh.com/Discord, and be on the lookout on my site for the post, finding out what you guys want in your top 10. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, bye.
Bye now.